The Center for Advanced Studies in Child Welfare at the School of Social Work at the University of Minnesota presents a module by Dr. Ronald Rooney and Vienna Rothberg, Healthy Youth Development for Adolescent Parents in Foster Care. There are three main objectives of this module. First, to gain an understanding of the Healthy Youth Development Framework. Second, to gain an understanding of the unique challenges facing young parents in the foster care system. And third, to understand how using a Healthy Youth Development Framework can assist in achieving more healthful outcomes for this population.
For this module, we will be exploring the 9 fundamental requirements for healthy youth development set out by Gisela Konopka in the spring of 1973 for the Office of Child Development in the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. These requirements will serve to frame our understanding of the experiences of both workers and former clients of the Teen Parent Support Network in Chicago, Illinois. This module draws on 2 focus group discussions conducted in the spring of 2008. Literature concerning work with teen parents and teens in foster care supports the Konopka framework. Throughout the module, we will highlight the connections between research and practical examples offered by our focus group participants.
Dr. Gisela Konopka's career spans more than 60 years. She is a pioneer in the study of adolescent female development and the author of over a dozen books and over 300 journal articles. She has been a leader in making scholarly knowledge about youth available to practitioners. It has been her unerring devotion to making human services humane that has characterized her outstanding career. In the early 1970s, Dr. Konopka was asked by the U.S. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare to write a paper articulating the fundamental requirements for healthy adolescent development. They remain relevant today and form the framework for this module. The Teen Parent Support Network provides comprehensive services to pregnant and parenting youth in Illinois who are themselves wards of the state and in the foster care system. These teens are entitled to weekly sessions with a caseworker to assist them in preparing to emancipate with education and job skills. Our panel of workers represents nearly 70 years of experience in child welfare. The caseworkers seen in this video represent several teams that have been designated to work with young parents. They were nominated by their supervisor as especially skilled at engaging young parents in foster care. Our former clients were chosen as well for their history of personal success, including successfully graduating from high school and successfully raising their children. The young mothers in this video have been clients of the program and have since emancipated. There is a growing body of research on the particular needs of teens who are parenting. Another body of research focuses on the needs of teens in the foster care system. Teen parents in the foster care system face the compounded and demanding tasks of developing as a healthy young person, a strong parent, and an independent young adult, with less consistent guidance than those raised in more traditional family structures or those who delay parenting. Parents who are in the foster care system face the additional challenge of often unstable family support and reliance on state structures to meet basic needs such as housing, food, and clothing. The additional pressure parenting teens face is to provide these basic needs for their children as well without lengthy or strong preparation for parenting, employment, or independence. Let's look at what current literature says about teens in foster care. Teens in the foster care system experience significantly higher rates of past abuse and neglect. They're more poorly prepared for higher education, employment, and independent living than other teens. For young women aging out of the child welfare system, motherhood may provide a valuable and desirable opportunity for identity development and healing within a familial context.
Current literature on parenting teens suggests that the relationship between educational success and pregnancy is reciprocal. This is to say that one influences the other. doing well in school reduces the chance of pregnancy, and becoming pregnant reduces the chance for doing well in school. Also, meaningful membership in community is negatively associated with pregnancy. In other words, improved employment opportunities and engagement at school can reduce both first and second pregnancies. Building relationships with mentors, teachers, friends, and family can reduce the chance of pregnancy among young people. Finally, parent training is positively associated with educational attainment. In other words, attending parenting classes can help to increase the number of years a person will attend school.
The concept of healthy youth development takes a holistic vision of health and works to acknowledge the broad range of factors that contribute to and represent health. Healthy Youth Development Framework focuses on creating opportunities for healthful engagement, skill building, growth, and development. One of Konopka's fundamental requirements for healthy youth development is the development of a sense of accountability in the context of a relationship among equals. Some programs have achieved this through the use of peer group building or building cohesion within support groups for parenting teens. In this clip, a child welfare worker, Chantal, discusses how she works with clients to establish this in the context of her own relationship with a client. Note that while the relationship is not formally equal, the worker strives to equalize the relationship through modeling and building a sense of mutual respect.
What I like to do is be consistent. I find that when I'm consistent with the clients, the relationship building is a lot easier. The clients are more trusting and they're willing to follow through more when they see that you're following through and being consistent with them. So when my expectation for them is that when we start a task that I would do my part and that they would do their part. And when they see me doing my part on a consistent basis, then they begin to follow up more.
Another requirement within the Konopka framework focuses on the development of decision-making skills and experience. In this clip, a young mother talks about a relationship in which a teacher talked to her about making better decisions and the positive effect this encouragement had on her choices about school involvement.
But I was in gospel choir in high school, and I said I had three teachers who pushed me the most. My geometry teacher, when she first came there, when she first met me, she said I knew instantly that we were going to bond and connect because of, she said, I see that you're very smart. She's like, you're making some really bad decisions. She's like, I don't know what to tell you what to do. She said, but you just got to be careful. My gospel choir director, I'll say when I first went there freshman year, everyone was talking about the trip that they always take. And I would go to the gospel choir just not knowing, just going there to sing, but after a while I would go there and I would actually, when I was singing, I felt like I connected, like on a deeper level. I started and I was going to church and things of that nature. So like I said, with my faith that made it through high school, it really was, and it wasn't me even going to church all the time. It was more me just coming up, faithfully getting up at like 4:30 in the morning to be at school by 7 to make it to choir practice. It was just that push, and I would make it there every morning for 4 years. So it was something.
Another fundamental requirement is concerned with finding a place to contribute. Young people must have the opportunity to participate as citizens, members of a household, as workers, and as responsible members of society. In this clip, a child welfare worker, Nicole, discusses how this principle might play out with a client. She talks about having success with alternative strategies for engaging a young person who is resistant to the idea of returning to school and may be feeling stuck, disconnected, or without options. This worker offers an alternative avenue for engagement.
Well, I think having like other options too, like there some clients, no matter how many schools you put them in or how many alternative schools or how much positive reinforcement, they're just not motivated to go to school. So like I found that like maybe offering a dance class, well, let's start with something smaller. Want to do a dance class once a week instead of going to school, and let's work on that. Like actually like being a part of something and finishing something, and then maybe that will give them more self-esteem or motivation to maybe enroll in school, but not just pushing school all the time. I think that if you're constantly, even though it's like an expectation, if you're constantly like, you need to go to school, you need to do this, that doesn't work. Or even like an art class, or finding something else for them to do that's positive, a parenting class, instead of pushing school all the time.
Sounds kind of like
Another fundamental requirement is focused on identity formation and problem solving. Experimenting with one's identity within a relationship and trying different roles and approaches to life challenges is crucial to developing as a healthy young person. In this clip, child welfare workers discuss this concept in terms of the choices and mistakes clients make. These workers acknowledge the importance of the client knowing that no mistake or experimentation will end the relationship or reflect on how the worker thinks about the client as a person. In this second clip, a child welfare worker, Sabrina, discusses the importance of supporting a young person through all kinds of decisions. This worker describes how to effectively maintain a relationship through the values development without pushing a particular path or set of values. Our focus group with young mothers confirmed that this was one of the most important points of growth and connection between a worker and client. The opportunity to work through conflicting values within a relationship of respect is especially important for young people in the foster care system. With less consistent support, direction, and guidance, these young parents must develop their own value systems more quickly and with greater potential for conflicting values than young people raised in more traditional settings or those who choose to delay parenting.
Continue to be that support, be available when they call, when things are stressful and frustrating for them. You link them up with those services or people that are going to continue to provide that support. It pretty much, case management is bringing it to the client's level. You have to meet them on their level in order to open up that conversation, in order to get them to trust you so they can let you know, well, this is not going right. You're right. You were right, Sabrina. This wasn't working. This is not what I needed, and then they can move forward. But if you continue to put yourself above them and talk down at them, then they're going to rebel. And everything you can say is just going to go out one ear.
Actually,
Konopka's sixth requirement is the opportunity to reflect on oneself in relation to others and discover oneself by looking outward as well as inward. In this clip, young mother Latoya talks about her shift in identity in relation to the death of her father. She talks about a change she experienced in her own identity after his death.
I know you can do it, I know you can succeed, you know what I'm saying? Because my daddy, he was a man. He built buildings from bottom up, just for free, just for fun, you feel me? And that made me feel like I can do whatever I want to do if I put my mind to it. And I was more like a bully in school. I wasn't the pretty or the nerdy one. I was more like a bully. So I stopped the bullying and I did my work, you know. I guess I had too much time. You know, I'd be the first one done with my schoolwork, then I could just run around my own way. And I just pick on people. But my daddy was more of my motivation than anything.
Another fundamental requirement is concerned with belonging with peers. Young people must have the opportunity to interact with peers and acquire a sense of belonging. We saw this at play in our focus group with young mothers. We found that as time passed, our participants became more open and trusting of both the process and each other. Even in this limited context, a sense of belonging allowed mothers to better connect and express themselves. This observation is supported by the common and successful use of support groups with this population. Konopka's final requirements for healthy youth development are concerned with self-expression and the enjoyment of life. In this clip, young mothers talk about how important it is to express their emotions in a variety of ways. Note the sense of relief and joy in the room when we brought up self-expression. This is one of the most positive and powerful moments in our interview with the mothers. While they are often forgotten, the value of self-expression and enjoyment cannot be overstated.
Sometimes you have to vent sometimes because everything when it piles up and it's all built up, you may react in a way you really don't want to. So I also journal, but I think that when you have it built up, bottled up so much, you have to, let it out. mean, mine is journaling and I go out skating or something. Something, I have to do something because we're built up like that.
I was going to ask you about doing something physical, because Darlene talked about going around the block, walking around the block. What is that?
I stay in the house sometimes. If I can't go around the block, I stay in the house, turn the radio real loud and just sing with it. Sing the top of my lungs. And then my baby sing with me, you know, so it helps.